Welcome to another edition of the REPMO Football Show presented by Beauty and Wellness Co. David Brazil, Coach Ryan Cornelsen, ready to get serious about the playoffs. District semifinal coming up with Webb City. You've already got one district win under your belt, and that was a game against Willard. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Yeah, there Jen makes a nice cut. That's just our stretch play off to the weak side. Felt like we had that play most of the night. We don't go to it a whole lot, but when we do, it's usually a pretty good play for us. That's the same play that Owen was having success with the week before, and so obviously it's still in the playbook, and he was able to get some big runs out of it again this week. And again, I told the kids like the first game was a lot of their mistakes created points fast. This was a better drive for us. This was getting something we needed to feel like we improved through the game. And so you see there that there wasn't any just huge big plays, but it was what we do, and that's what I was wanting to see out of our team. I wasn't worried about trying to score a bunch of points or anything like that. I was more about, hey, let's be what we are and be consistent, and I felt like at least through most of the first half we did that a lot better.
Did you make any adjustments to the offensive game plan, really? You just tweaks
it's kind of funny is I don't think either team did much anything different. We were wondering what they were going to run. We planned for something else. And we didn't change a whole lot. They didn't change a whole lot. So really, you try not to out coach yourself. But neither team did a whole lot of different stuff. It was pretty much a lot of the same stuff. They obviously they wanted to run the ball more early, and we kind of assumed that to keep the clock moving. Then when they went to their pass, they went to it heavy. But I felt like we did a nice job with the run. We knew that was probably was most likely going to be early in the game.
Yeah, one of the kind of common themes was fumbles, and this is going to end up being one. Looked like it was going to be a touchdown, but credit Kieran for coming in from behind and forcing that fumble.
Yeah, that's a great play by KG. Anytime you feel like they broke and he's athletic enough to catch them, to not just go for the tackle but go for the knockdown or strip was huge. A huge play for him and for us. And we basically mistimed the ball. JT had good coverage, just flat mistimed the ball, and they were able to catch it. And great hustle by our other corner. That's the far side corner coming all the way across to land on the ball, and that's a team play. That's everybody, not just stopping and watching, but finishing the play.
So you get the ball back, and again, able to move the ball. One kind of recurring theme, as I said, was fumbles, and it wasn't just them. You had some through the night, but when you did drive the ball, when you hung on to it, you were able to move it kind of methodically, like you like to do, like you said.
And and why those fumbles occurred, I don't know. We obviously can't have that problem again. And sometimes I think when you're not as maybe the game's not as big, you're not quite as intense, and maybe some of that stuff happens. But that's an excuse. The reality is we got to hold on to the ball better than we did this game. It was a nice, that's our counter off our power series, and offensive line did a really good job of blocking that down, and Pelfrey made a good run to score.
And then I think this drive stopped them a little bit short, and this may be the interception. I'm not sure if this was just a big stop on fourth down.
Right, and you see our defense, we're playing hard. Our guys are flying around, and we understood they were going to run the ball, and we took the challenge as don't let them run the ball, and we were able to get in there and stop the run.
And then you go to the air here, and this was just it was a good play on both ends because it was a great catch, but then for Preston to make that throw after having to scramble around was really something. And then he threw it up, and Gavin's not that big a kid, but he out-jumped everybody and got it.
Yeah, Gavin's really athletic, and we feel like again, he's one of those. He's got a little shoulder issue, so we've limited what he does offensively, but very capable of going up and catching the ball when we need. And that was the first route we thought was there, wasn't there. Preston just buys time, and then obviously Preston's arm, he can throw it about wherever he wants. So. He was able just to find a receiver and let it be a jump ball.
When he threw it, I thought that's not a very good throw. He threw it in a double coverage, but Gavin got it anyway.
Yeah, Gavin went up, made a nice play, and again, the down and distance tells you to go ahead and let that one go. Let's let it go, and he did, and we were able to make a play. Yeah, there's the interception by Norman, and it was kind of weird. It was almost like it hit the guy, and he turned and handed it to him. It wasn't just like a clean interception, but Great for Caleb there, most of his job is filling gaps and stopping the run and being our quarterback back there. For him to get a big play right in his hands was really, really cool. Now,
he had a fumble that he picked up and ran back for 6 earlier in his career, so he had the same spot on the field.
Yeah, and I really think, one of the adjustments we did make was we stuck him on the running back on screens. And so I think if you watch game 1, the screen was hurting us. Game 2, it didn't. It was because we put Caleb, that was his role. His job was to make sure that didn't happen again, and he took that stuff away. TD there plays the bounce and gets a big return, finds a seam, does a good job hitting the seam. Again, the same play you saw earlier with Pelfrey. It's the exact same play. Don't know how that's not in, but they called it on the one. But he did a good job of getting there, and then we were able to punch it in.
Kind of wondered if you were going to give the ball back to him since he made it. You could
should.
see him walking away. Like, how is that not a touchdown?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it wasn't either. But they, again, the ball's on the inch-yard line, I guess, and we'll line up and figure it out.
It's one thing if that's 4th down, that's more annoying than if it's 1st and goal from there. Especially with your offense, you're in pretty good shape.
And I don't know, is this the one we fumbled? Did we fumble this one or we get in?
I think you get in here, but I didn't do a very good job of cutting the highlights, so you're in.
There we go. We're scored. So, another good drive. Like I said, and I told the kids, like I said, all week long, the score might not be as lopsided as a week ago, but we can get more out of the game than what we did a week ago, and I felt like that really held true. Again, here they are, they're just taking shots, and we got to go up and find the ball there. We can't, we broke down a little bit in coverage. Earlier Pacheco tripped, and they had those big passes that can't happen, and we got to do a better job of making sure they don't happen.
Big run there. I thought it was pretty funny because Pelfrey had talked to me earlier in the week about how tiring it is to have to run 50, 60 yards on last week's show, and then he had to do it again when he got in the end zone this time. So
and honestly, a lot of our backs are built for the smash mouth. They're built to get us 3 or 4 yards. So when they do get a breakaway, that's not something we practice a lot. It's not like we're out there trying to trim them down and get them in shape for what we do. So that's funny he said that, because that's just kind of how we want them, honestly.
Yeah.
KG, another big interception, then just keeps the ball alive, finds a way to score. The best part of that, we learned from a week ago where we had the penalties when we had an interception, and guys were, were hitting in the back and all, like, hey, a pick's a big play. Let's not, it's not over when the ball's picked. Make sure we don't have a penalty in case we do break one. We got a chance to put it in the end zone.
And there was a penalty there, but it wasn't on you.
Right.
I thought I think that we said the same thing while he was running it back. Like, don't commit a penalty because he's liable to run it back. I told him after the game he might have run 106 yards on this one going side to side by the time he finally got it in.
And really what happens is it's an exciting play, so kids get excited and they forget, like, stay disciplined. And so that's when those penalties occur. It's not we're looking for penalties. It's we just got excited, and then that leads to a penalty when we're not disciplined. Their TD gets, after half, the week ago we brought in a full JV squad. The score wasn't quite there yet, and so we want to get TD some reps behind the first group of O-line, and let Gray, he hasn't played much tailback. I don't know what that was there.
We're going to have a talk about excessive celebration on your own team.
That was, I didn't see that. That was not a good look. But I thought TD came in and did a nice job of managing the offense, and again, here it is again. Come on, man. At least he picked him up and gave him a hug.
That's true.
Not good. So, but then we were able to get the rest of the JV in here offensively. Same thing defensively. At that point, we felt like we had especially Fisher makes a good play there. And then you really felt like, okay, now we can start subbing guys in after this drive. And we got the score out of control, out of where they couldn't come back. And it's a little different when it's districts. Like, you can't chance it as much as you can during the regular season. So
last touchdown there by TD got it in, and that That was a solid win. You're happy with the way you played?
Yeah, much better this week than first week. And it really wasn't our fault game one. They just made so many mistakes. The score got out of hand, and this one felt like we earned it a little bit more and had to go find ways to score, not just them making mistakes.
Yeah. So into the district semifinals, we'll talk about that a little later on. First, we're going to talk about a successful season at the JV and freshman levels. After this on the REPMO Football Show.
This is Vanessa at Beauty and Wellness Co. At Beauty and Wellness, we are all about REPMO spirit, and we're also about helping you optimize your internal wellness and enhance your external beauty. Whether you're looking to age gracefully or just looking for a boost of energy to help you refuel and recover, we are the place to go. Visit our spot at Highway 174 and Main Street. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Beauty Plus Wellness CO or call us at 417-590-8200.
Go Tigers!
Welcome back to the REPMO Football Show. Not only has the varsity team had a great year so far, 8-2, but a couple of 9-0 seasons by the JV and freshman teams, and wanted to just give them a shout out, talk about the seasons that they had.
Yeah, they both had really good seasons. We spent a lot of time in the summer. We spent a lot of time in the season with our lower units and our freshmen and our JV. Our freshmen actually are completely separate. So they have an hour, 8th hour that they come in and they practice during 8th hour, which also allows, Coach Yules there, myself, we got a lot more coaches with them. My first couple of years here, we didn't have that, and our freshmen were mixed into our practice, and I didn't feel like it was effective. I didn't feel like we were getting enough reps with our freshmen, and so the way we do it now, we feel like we get a lot more reps, we get a lot more time with them, and they're able to perform at a higher level. But both groups have some good players, some talented players. We've been able to see some of the JV and even the freshmen this week on defense got in there late. So we're excited about what they did this year. They were both undefeated, and really, for the most part, not a whole lot of close games. Our JV first group was out a lot of times at half, but what we have to explain to our kids is that doesn't correlate to Friday nights.
Yeah.
The weight room correlates to Friday night. So we were talented enough, we were ready to play at the JV level. That has nothing to do with the varsity level. The freshmen have nothing to do with the varsity level. Like you have, it's where you go from where you're at and the time you spend in the weight room and how much bigger, faster, stronger, that correlates to Friday night. Yeah. So if you're just the same player next year, you might be able to go undefeated again at JV in the freshman level, but you're going, that doesn't correlate to Friday night. So it's a big jump. We're excited about what they did. Hopefully that allows them to be hungry for to get better, that when their time comes for Friday nights, we have that same success on Fridays we did at the freshman and JV levels.
Don't want to put you on the spot, but a couple of standout moments for either one of those teams that you think, that was a good win or a good moment for them?
I think with the JV game one against Nixa was I think both of those to beat Nixa game one, that our varsity hadn't been able to do game one, so they were able to do that. I think that's a big win for them. And then the same teams that are good on the varsity level are typically good at the JV and freshman levels, and so our conference is obviously extremely tough. Even Waynesville's freshmen had a lot of success in the junior high ranks, so even teams that aren't successful might have a good lower level team.
And that was a close game, I think.
Yeah, that was a close game. And so, we're excited with the guys we have. We're excited with what they did this year. Now, in my mind, it's time to go to work. If you really want to have success and you want to have that carryover, it's time to get to work. And because, again, none of our groups at any age are what I would say are that class has a lot of big kids. Like we all, that's just, I guess that it is what it is. It's been that way since I've been here, and it doesn't look to be changing anytime soon, which is fine. We just got to outwork people. We got to be, as fast and as strong as we can be.
All right. We're going to be back to take a look at last week by the numbers after this on the REPMO Football Show.
Looking for your next ride? Come see us at Pinnaker Chevrolet in Republic. Not only do we have a great selection of new Chevrolets on the lot, we've got a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, all makes, all models, ready to drive home today. Need to sell or trade? We're buying cars, trucks, and SUVs, and we'll give you top dollar, no strings attached. Fair deals with local people you can trust. Let our family take care of yours at Pinnaker Chevrolet in Republic or online at pinnakerchevrolet.com.
Welcome back to the REPMO Football Show. Let's take a look at last week by the numbers, but before we do, I want to thank Mark at Whataburger for being a big supporter of Republic Tiger Sports and providing drinks for the show all year. All right, by the numbers, you had more plays than them. The stats, as you look at them, maybe not as lopsided as the score would indicate. They got their passing yards, but most of that was a couple of big plays, really.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Those big plays that we saw in the highlights is probably the majority of those. And again, we obviously can't give that up. We felt like they were going to come out and run the ball a little bit more just to try to run some clock, and we were prepared for it. And I felt like we did a really good job of stopping that. Again, the passing yards is those big plays, and we got to prevent that. But just looking at the numbers there, and it's hard to tell because not everybody, we started pulling the second half and all that, but I felt like for the most part, we had more plays than they did. Our rushing yards obviously are good, and so like I said, all in all, I felt like it was a good night. Other than giving up those big passes, is something we got to do better at.
Really balanced offensively with Pelfrey 95, Claire 89, Hull 56, and 3 touchdowns. So that's what you're looking for too. And then Ethan Montiel just 5 tackles for Nolan Lashley, but with the 4 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, another sack for Ethan Montiel. He's been really disruptive defensively.
He really has. He's had a good year, and both those guys have, and really play very similar positions. They're the edge on both sides. Now there's some different roles for each of them on different weeks, and sometimes Nolan's not there, sometimes he is, so there's different roles. But those two have became really good players off the edge, and give us a chance to get to quarterbacks fast, give us a chance to seal the edge, and I've been really pleased with both those two guys and how well they played.
So that's a look at the game by the numbers, courtesy of Elliott Robinson and Company. We'll be back with more after this on the REPMO Football Show. Welcome back to the REPMO Football Show, joined by tight end Aiden Schaefer. And Aiden, tell me first, your role on the team, what kind of plays are you in on, what kind of packages, that kind of thing?
So mainly the packages that I'm in on is Coast and Army. I'll go in there with Trayton Gray, he's the other guy, he'll go in for Jen. And we really just run a lot of just like dive and we can really run anything out of Army, but that's mainly what we run out of it.
Okay. What do you think you're best at in that position?
We do a lot of scooping backside, so just really making sure that any outside like defenders that normally won't make the play, just make sure they don't really.
Yeah. Okay. So tight ends, a lot of people think of tight ends that catch the ball a lot. There's not a lot of passing to the tight ends in this system. How do you approach that? Have you come to grips with the fact you're not going to get the ball a lot, but maybe every once in a while? Just what's your mental state in that?
I got one pass to me and didn't go too well. But I'm completely okay with it. I just want to play ball with my buddies and just keep the season rolling, whether I get the ball or not. I'm happy with what we're doing as a team.
Do you consider yourself just another lineman? Do you consider yourself separate from that, just in your head?
Yeah, another lineman, most likely. Yeah, I stay with the line in practice, and if they need me and Braxton for pass routes just to get the script ready, but that's when we stay with the line.
Okay. What's been a standout moment for you this year?
There's just a lot of little things. So not really any major things. I just there's a couple plays where I need to get a down block, and that's probably my that's where I have to make it. I have to execute on that play.
Yeah.
That's my main thing.
So you've gone through the regular season now. You played one game of districts against Willard. Now it gets a little more serious, and you've got Webb City coming to town. You can talk about your approach to this game, but also the team's approach getting ready for a game like this. What's the mood like?
Well, it's just it's a lot of mental because we've already beat them, and the thing is that we have to not get in our heads about it. We have to go out there and bring a punch from the start. Really, is we can't get comfortable where we're at, and especially after playing Willard 2 weeks. They're a good football team, but it's just we have to execute no matter who we're playing, and as a team, we just need to stay together through the whole. I mean, it's win or go home now, so we just need to stay together. Really, is the main thing.
Do you enjoy that environment and the increased pressure, or what do you think of that?
Oh yeah, the bigger the game, the more fun. I think when the games get close is when it becomes really fun. I mean, obviously everybody loves to blow out, but I think that playing under pressure is a lot of fun.
All right, that's going to do it. I'll have Caden Cavender in here next. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome.
And we'll be back after this.
Street Pharmacy, this is Kim. May I help you?
Feeling rough, we've got the stuff. Hines Street Pharmacy, care you trust. Friendly faces, prices neat. Feel better right down Hines Street.
Welcome back to the REPMO Football Show. Caden Cavender joins us, and part of the defense. Tell me about your role and what kind of packages you're in on.
So I'm mostly a backup, but I love playing the D-line. It's a great experience. The year before I was playing offense. I was starting on JV, left tackle.
Tell me about that transition. I mean, how did you get from there to here?
It just went through in the summer. It really just happened out of nowhere, but I'm honestly really glad it happened because I feel like I would not be the person I am today without the D-line.
Yeah.
The D-line, it's great.
What do you like about the D-line as opposed to playing offense?
It's more, I feel like it's more physical. Like, I like how physical it is and how hard you have to play to be on the D-line. Like, it's a great experience.
So you mentioned you're a backup. A lot of guys, if they're not starting, it's not right for them.
Yeah.
You had to go through all the summer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone through the season. How's that been for you, and how do you feel about you get in there when you're in there, and has it still been an enjoyable season?
It's been a very enjoyable season. This has been like my favorite season by far, even though I don't play as much. I love seeing my team succeed, and I just love seeing my friends and players succeed.
Yeah. How do you stay focused so if you do get the call, you're ready to go in there?
I try to hype myself up as best as I can and go through everything in my head, make sure I can do everything right.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to the rest of the way as you hit these big time playoff games?
I'm very excited to see our run and see how far we can make it.
Yeah. You've got two teams you've already played, so that's a little bit different. Really three if you count Willard because you'd played them the week before. Is the preparation any different because you've played them before?
Yeah, it's with Webb. We're doing like the same thing we've done, but
I would imagine you've got yourself against you've got film of Republic against them as opposed to just what they've done against other teams.
You can definitely tell it's going to be a lot bigger than the first game because it's ride or die now.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck on Friday. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more after this on the REPMO Football Show.
Since 2014, Republic Animal Hospital has been caring for pets with the personal touch you'd expect from a hometown clinic.
You know people are friendly here. I think there's still those small town values here, and I like being part of the community.
From dogs and cats to pocket pets, Dr. Ferguson and her team provide compassionate care in a comfortable, expanded facility designed for both pets and their people. Republic Animal Hospital, caring for your pets because they're family.
Welcome back to the REPMO Football Show. David Brazil alongside Coach Ryan Cornelsen, and it doesn't get a lot bigger than this one coming up. District semifinal, Webb City comes to town, and last 3 or 4 years this has turned into a big rivalry, which is something that you could not say for the first 24 meetings. But how do you approach this one, having beaten them down there in a close game, but now I know they look different, and you look different too.
Right, and really, we kind of even like playing Willard back to back. We it's one game at a time, and obviously, we look at the film, what worked, what didn't work, what where our matchups were good, not good, but it's a whole different game, and especially now. They've got number 3 back, and I think most of us remember him from the playoff game as a sophomore. Yep. He's an exceptional player, and they didn't have him week when we played him. And now they do, and against Joplin he was really impressive, and so now they've got 2 weapons back there in the backfield. Number 5 he's extremely, he's as good as anybody around. So you put those 2 in the same backfield, whether they use number 3 at quarterback, they use him at receiver, they use him at running back, so you don't really know where you're going to get him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they definitely look different offensively when they got healthy and they got their guys back. But either way, it's going to be a big. We knew it was going to be a big game. We know anytime you play Webb, man, you're gonna have to play extremely well. The margin of error gets really small, and I tell the kids that our speech this week was what wins games early in the season is the same thing: block and tackle, and knowing your assignment, doing your assignment. The only difference is in these big games is the margin of error shrinks drastically. And so you don't have the opportunity. First game we fumbled twice. In the first half. Yeah. Those things can't happen if you want to try to beat good teams in the playoffs. Yeah. And so our kids understand that, and they realize those things. And we'll have a good plan. They'll be ready to play. It'll be a great environment, and playing against a great football team. And so here it is again. It's playoff time. It's big games, and it makes it exciting. And just got to. Play extremely well, and our kids, I know they put in a lot of time. They understand the importance of it. They understand where we're at and how big this one is, and they'll play extremely hard.
All right. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you, sir.
That's going to do it for the REPMO Football Show. We'll have live coverage of the game against Webb City starting about 6:40 on Friday night. And you can catch that on the Misha TV app, or you can go to republictigersports.com/live. Thanks for watching the REPMO Football Show. What am I going to ask out of that? I don't know. See, you're fine, but I'm the one that messes up.
Welcome back. This is Cooper Cornelsen on the Republic Tiger Sports Show. And today we have our guest, Cameron Cornelsen. We'll be running through some questions about the last week. So, what worked last week?
We played good. We played good, and I don't know.
What do we need to do to be successful next week?
So we need to be more respectful and don't mess around.
Do you think we need to run or pass the ball more?
Probably pass, because you guys are always holding the ball. So it's like, and then you just run. And then some passing, because, you just do it at random times.
How do we make it to the state championship?
Probably playing good, not messing around, and, throwing the ball, actually throwing it, and trying to score it, because you guys are just either running with it or just trying to throw it to people. So,